No, we are not taking another shot.
I will take. I will take.
Okay, we still in another shot. Shot. Yeah, with a girl, a woman, a strong woman. She's a teacher. And then today she will going to talk about a topic that the topic will help us to be growing in our business today. And the topic of today is how to grow your small business amidst stiff competition. Her name is Fotabe Elmine. Elmine Fotabe. This is her name, and she's on air already. And then we will talk about this topic today, and she will explain to us what the rule, the quality, everything what we need to have a good business in a midst of competition. You know, it's not easy for us when you have a business. It's not easy to make business when many people are doing the same business like you. Then she has the rule of that, and then she will be talking about it. And good morning, Elmine, Fotabe, Mr. Fotabe.
Thank you. Good morning, Elmine.
I hope that I give all the I give all your name, I give the good name, and I give all the things that you are doing. You are a teacher?
Yes, I am.
You are a teacher, and then you come today to grow your business in the midst of
stiff competition.
Stiff competition.
Yes.
You know, it's not easy for us.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. Competition is good.
Yeah.
But there is also the difficult side of competition.
Yeah.
And we have to understand how we can wade our way through the competition and still grow our small business.
Yeah. Okay, so you have the floor now for you to explain to us. I just want je voudrais juste to invite the televiewers to take a pen and a book, a block note to write what she's going to tell us now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, you introduced very well.
Yeah.
Today we see a lot of people starting small businesses, which is a good thing for our economy. It's really very good. And as a teacher, as a leader, a social entrepreneur, I encourage more and more young people to venture into business.
You are a founder and chair FUNIC
Cameroon. Yes. That's a higher institute of learning. So I encourage young people to get into business because I am into business myself. But we also know the challenges that exist in terms of competition. Like you rightly said, lots of people usually do the same stuff in business like us. And I used to tell young people that there is a kind of phenomenon existing in our country, which I term the Me Too phenomenon. It means that I start doing something and people watching me think that I am succeeding, and they think they too want to do it in terms of business. And because of this, so many people get into the same type of businesses. They use the same strategies. They have the same business models. And so it becomes a little bit difficult to grow a business amidst this kind of very stiff competition. And this is why I think that this topic is really very important. So the good place to start here is, first of all, to invite all the business people who are watching today to think carefully about the mission of their businesses. Why have they created those businesses? If you're still thinking about creating a business, why do you want to create the business? What is the mission? What's the purpose? What's the driving force behind starting this business? This is a good place to start. And I am sure that Jabed was here. He mentioned that already. And the second thing to think about is, what vision do I have for my business? Where do I see this business in a future period, in say 5 years, in say 10 years? Where do I envisage this business to be? And then thirdly, and very importantly, is an understanding of the sector you're either operating in or still thinking of operating in. What sector do you want to venture into? For me, I am in education. I am in the educational sector. So a good place to start is to have a good understanding of your sector. Now, this understanding is not just knowing which sector you want to venture into, but especially understanding the customers in that sector and understanding the competitors, because we're talking about competition today, understanding the competitors who are already operating in that sector. What is it that they are doing right vis-a-vis the customers? What is it that they are failing to do? Because this is how we take advantage when we can identify a gap in what competitors are already offering, then we can grow our businesses. So now that we understand the mission, we understand the vision that we have for our business, and we understand the sector that we want to operate in or we are operating in, let's get directly into the strategy. Today I'm going to discuss just one strategy to help us grow our small businesses amidst competition. And what is this one strategy? The one strategy is differentiation. This is our strategy. This is the one strategy we are going to be discussing today, differentiation. At the very basic, the basic understanding of differentiation is simply doing things in different ways. In the case of business, doing things differently from competitors, basically that. Because if everyone keeps doing the same things, then at the end of the day, competitors our customers, are lost. They do not see why they should do business with you and not with the other or with the other. But when you can stand out, that is, you do things differently, then it is easy for customers and potential customers to spot you and choose to do business with you over competitors. This is why we are discussing differentiation today. Now, when we are talking about differentiation, there are two types of differentiation that I want to mention today. The first is differentiation in terms of quality, and the second is in terms of price. Differentiation in terms of price. I'll begin from price. Usually, I do not like to talk about differentiation based on pricing because this is easy to copy. Everyone can either drop their price or raise their price. This is very easy. But then, since this is an option, I'm going to explain briefly how you can differentiate your business based on price. Now, we know that something very important in business is customer perception. Customers do business with us based on their perception of our offering. What I mean is that when you offer something to your customers, they make a choice whether or not to accept that based on their perception, not based on just your offering. So price plays a lot on customer perception. So usually, customers think that when prices are high, it means that the quality is high. This is what usually customers think. And sometimes customers think that when the price is low, then the quality is low as well. So many businesses have decided to differentiate their businesses by either raising prices and so attracting those customers who think that high price goes with high quality, or dropping their prices so that they can attract the mass market. This is an aspect of differentiation which personally I don't like very much because people can easily copy. Quality is where differentiation becomes very interesting. Well, we differentiate quality in terms of either our service offering or the products that we offer. What do I mean by service offering? A few weeks ago, Perrin was here to talk about customer service. So whatever service we offer, we can differentiate ourselves from competitors by accompanying our business with great customer service. Meaning that something that I usually hear around here, and no get change, stops to happen, because this is very common in small businesses. You tell your customers that they should go look for the balance and bring and then pay you to do business. This is not great customer service. And you cannot differentiate your business by doing that. So great customer service is one of the factors that we can use to differentiate our business in terms of quality. We can also differentiate in terms of the products that we offer. What kind of products do we offer? If you're a fashion designer, for example, you will definitely maybe be selling clothes, the kind of clothes I'm wearing. why should I buy from you and not from another person? This is because I know that I could use this dress for a whole year and I may not have any problems because you've taken your time to really stitch it well. This is quality. But some other person will not take their time and I wear it once or twice and I cannot use it anymore. This is an issue of quality. So businesses can also differentiate themselves in terms of the quality of offering of their services or their products. But this is not where we are going to stop. We're not going to stop here. We are going to discuss further. Actually, the heart of our discussion is moving from the types of differentiation to discussing how we can effectively achieve differentiation in our businesses. How can we effectively achieve this differentiation? So I'm going to discuss 4 questions, and you were already invited to take down stuff as we discuss. Please, I'll remind you to do that. And these 4 questions, to help you easily remember them, we're going to use an acronym, and the acronym is ERRC. This acronym will help us to remember the 4 questions that I invite us to ponder over as we think of how to effectively achieve differentiation in our business. Now, this is something that I got from the Blue Ocean strategy, which is a strategy that has been tested and proven to work, and which I have personally used in my business. It has worked for me, and I am sure that if you use this, it is going to work for your business as well. One thing I want to tell you is, this is not just some theory that I'm sharing with you. This is practice that has worked. So I am going to be using examples from my business to show you how I achieved differentiation using those 4 questions we're about to discuss. So what does E stand for? E stands for eliminate. Eliminate. And the question you should be asking yourself right now and trying to find answers to is, what is it that people in my sector, business people in my sector, are doing that is not necessarily adding value to customers that I want to eliminate? The preamble here is that, like I always say, if you cannot create value for customers, you cannot capture value from customers. I'll say this again. If you cannot create value for customers, then you cannot capture value from customers. Customers want value. That's why they are paying for your services or paying for the goods you sell. You want value from customers in terms of the return on investment. In fact, basically money, so that you can make profits at the end of the day. Now, you should be asking yourself this very important question. I am doing business amidst stiff competition. What are those things that people in my sector, businesses in my sector, keep doing that are not necessarily adding value to their customers and as such to their businesses that I should eliminate? Now, for us, like I said, I was going to be using my institution as an example. For us, what we did was, when we asked ourselves these 4 questions, the first one was very interesting. We are a higher institute of learning. And before I started my higher institute of learning, I was a teacher. I taught in many other higher institutes. And I observed the way marketing is done usually around here. And I see that many institutions will go around schools and talk to students and offer gadgets sometimes to these students to cause them to enroll into their institutions. This works for them because they can attract the number. But when it was time for me to set up my own institution, I was not looking at just the numbers. I was looking at the quality, the caliber of students I wanted to attract. This is why I said, start by asking yourself, what's my mission and what's the vision of this business?
Absolutely.
Since I knew my mission is to create a new generation of young African leaders who can do things in a more ethical manner, I thought that I needed to attract young people who are self-motivated And then I thought the way higher institutes attract their students will not work for me, will not be in line with my mission. So I eliminated this form of marketing, of going from school to school, talking to students and offering gadgets to them. I eliminated this. And this helped us to save money, save time, and use our personnel for something better that is paying off today. So ask yourself this question again. What is it that every business in my sector is doing that is not necessarily adding value that I can eliminate? This is question number 1. Question number 2 is reduce. Reduce. And the question is, what is it that businesses in my sector are doing that are not necessarily adding value to that organization or those organizations and to their customers that I can reduce? I may not necessarily just eliminate, but reduce. Now again, back to our institution, what we did, we understand the place of PhDs, you know, in higher institutes. We are more a business school. So while we thought that we needed a few PhDs around to help us with the pedagogy, okay, because this is important as well. But we thought that we needed to reduce the number of PhDs that we had around so that we'll be able to increase something, which we're going to see very soon, and achieve the goals that we had set for the institution. Okay, so you should be asking yourself, should I reduce the amount of money I spend on social media ads, for example? Should I reduce the amount of money I spend on radio ads? This is really not to downplay any kind of media awareness that we can create for our businesses. This is just a question that you should think carefully about, because the answers are going to help you to achieve differentiation. I am not going to prescribe answers for these questions. I'm not going to do that because businesses differ, the sectors differ, and we can only find answers that fit our small business in our sector. Okay, the realities of our businesses really differ. So what is it that you can reduce that everyone in your sector is doing? Because, you know, people just do the same stuff. People just do the same stuff. Yeah. And this is why research shows that 90% of businesses that are created die within the first 5 years. Because everybody keeps doing the same thing.
Voila. Nobody
does things differently. But you have to think, most of the things that they do are not even relevant to their business. Not at any value. But because someone else is doing them, then they do them as well. So ask yourself, what can I reduce? And for the records, one of the things we reduced was the amount of money we spend on radio ads. Because we sat down and we saw that this was not really adding any value to us. Now, question 3 is raise. Raise. This is the third question, which is the second R, raise. The question is, what is it that people in my sector, businesses in my sector are taking for granted that may add value to the customers and to my business that I can raise or increase? And for us, you remember I said we reduced the number of PhDs that we kept in our school. Then we raised the number of industry experts that we brought in to teach our students. You see how these things go? We raised the number of industry experts because we are training business students, people who will become business executives tomorrow. And we needed this touch, this experience from people who are already practicing. So we decided to raise the number of industry experts that we brought in. And again, something else that we decided to raise was our social media presence. And anybody who has been following us these few years will see that we really have stepped up our social media presence and even investment, because we decided to reduce what we spent on radio ads. So ask yourself this question. Is there something that people in my sector, businesses in my sector, are taking for granted, but that can potentially create value for my customers and for me, that I can increase, that I can raise? Is it adverts? Then increase that. Is it personal selling? Then increase that. Is it your social media presence? Increase that. But think about it, because this is something you have to think, not just in terms of your mission, your vision, your sector, but also in terms of your budget. You should be able to think about those things. And finally, the last question, which is what gets us to where differentiation really becomes exciting, is the last question, which is the C, create. Now, this is where it gets exciting, because this is where we see creativity, innovation, we see people standing out.
Not easy at all.
Yes, it's not easy at all, but it's something that anyone can do. If we can just remember the ERRC, then we can start asking ourselves these questions. And we must not find answers to these questions in one day. You can take a few weeks to think about, really ponder over these questions, and I can assure you that even you can find amazing answers.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
is everybody has the creativity in his mind?
Yes, everybody has the ability to be creative.
To create.
Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
Everybody has the ability to create.
Okay.
Not everybody is creative, but everyone has the ability to create.
Okay.
And that is why a question like this can become very important.
Yeah.
Because many people do not know how, or are not yet creative, not because they are not able, but because no one has guided them through that procedure of becoming creative. But when they start thinking about a question like this, what is it that no one in my sector has done yet that I can do to attract more customers, to create value for them? This is why you would find that you go into a restaurant, for example, in Douala, and you find that somebody offers you a drink, a free drink. After a plate of food, they offer you a free. This is creativity. It doesn't need to be something extraordinary.
Okay.
Yes, but this person has thought that nobody else does this. People do not offer free drinks. So if I start offering free drinks, then I'll attract many more people who come give me money for my business. So this is why we're talking about small businesses, and we're really using these examples that they can relate with. So creativity is not seen in just people who invent airplanes and
it's not a big thing.
It's not very big. Even in very small stuff, we can see creativity. Okay. Now, you see, I said this one gets very exciting. And again, using our own example, when we got to this question, we all stopped to think. And then we came out with amazing stuff that have branded us today to be one of the most important entrepreneurial institutions that people have around. What did we do? You remember we eliminated going to schools to advertise. We reduced the number of PhDs. We raised the number of industry experts. Then when it came to creativity, which is what differentiates one business from another, we decided that we were not going to offer just programs that would require students to come pay fees, learn using the curriculum that the government has given us, graduate and go home. We thought many of those young people that we need, who would help further our vision, do not have the financial means to pay tuition. They are in rural areas. And if we really need those people to mold so that we can raise a new generation of entrepreneurial leaders, then we need to go to those areas where those people are found, and we need to make it possible for them to study whether or not they have the financial means. But we needed to create programs for them. And this is how we created programs that have helped our students to work while they study, to earn income while they study, without paying tuition. But at the same time, they are making money for the institution. Okay? So people ask me every time, how did you do that? This is the magic of creativity. When you can sit down and think. And we asked ourselves, what is it that other higher institutes around are not doing? But that can create value for our customers and for the institution. This is how we designed these programs, and we said they are tuition-free programs. we select, the selection is really rigorous. We select young people who are driven, who are passionate about leadership and entrepreneurship. They do not have the money to pay tuition, no problem. We give them skills, and then we give them a job while they study, and then they work, and we earn money too. So this is how we could create value. And so this is very important. Again, it is this C that is going to make all the difference. If you have answered the first 3 questions, don't forget that here you have to take your time. With the C, take your time, look around your market, understand your customers, understand your budgets, understand your abilities, understand what is it that people in your environment really need. Because at the end of the day, business is about meeting needs. It is not about just creating something that you like. It is about meeting the needs of people who would be willing and able to pay so that you can make money and grow. We want every small business to grow. We want to see more and more people get into business and create small businesses. We want to see these businesses sustained. Joybeth was here talking about sustainability. It is important that you sustain your business. But if you sustain your business and you do not grow it, very soon what will happen is that you will start regressing. Because I firmly believe that in life we are always moving. I don't believe that we stand. We're always moving. We're always moving forward or we're moving backwards. We never just stand. So if you think that you want your business to stay through your life cycle, stay through your offspring, take over your business and see that your business is really creating impact, then we have to think beyond just sustaining the businesses to growing the business. Because this is important. This is what is going to help our own younger generations to come take over these businesses and keep growing them. So just a recap of everything that we've discussed. Our number 1 strategy, I gave just one strategy today, is known as differentiation. And I said that we have differentiation in terms of quality and we have differentiation in terms of price. And I said again that differentiation in terms of price may not be very attractive because it is easy to be copied. What I meant by that is that it is easy when you drop 500 francs from your price for your next door neighbor to do same, drop 500 francs. And this creates what we call price wars that do not really help businesses to grow. So the best form of differentiation could be quality. In terms of quality. And we have said that for us to achieve differentiation, we need to find answers to 4 important questions. And to help you remember these 4 questions, just remember the acronym ERRC. E stands for eliminate, R for reduce, R for raise, and C for create. And to remind you of the questions again, what is it that all businesses in my sector are doing that is not necessarily creating value for their customers that I can eliminate, I can do without? Because every time you eliminate something that is not creating value, you make value for yourself. Because you save in terms of money, time, resources, and all of that. Sure. The second question, to remind you again, what is it that everyone in my sector is doing that I can reduce? Because when I reduce, it can create more value for me. Okay? So you can think about that. I'm not prescribing anything for any business, but you can think about that. Find answers that will help your business grow. The third is the raise. What is it that everyone in my business is taking for, in my sector, is taking for granted that I can increase, that I can raise? Is it my media presence? What is it? Okay. So this is the third. And then finally, we have the C, which is create. What is it that I can create? What can I create that no one else has thought about, but that can bring value for my customers and as such, bring value for my organization? So this is the discussion that we had today. I'll gladly take some questions, and then we would keep our discussions going.
Can I ask my question in French?
Please, you can ask.
Ok. Je sais pas. Moi, je connais un monsieur qui a pensé son projet. Il a créé son entreprise. Et puis, il a recruté un service commercial, Opportunity Business. Et puis, le service commercial a commencé à travailler. Mais, il ne faisait entrer aucun client, le service commercial. Il a pris 2 filles, 2 garçons. Rien n'entrait. Et du coup, il se fâchait contre ses employés qui étaient au service commercial. Vous ne foutez rien, tout le temps il se fâchait. Voilà les autres qui prospèrent. Moi, personne, il n'y a pas de... Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Moi, la question que je veux poser, c'est que est-ce que ce monsieur avait raison de se ruer sur le service commercial qui ne faisait pas entrer la clientèle? Est-ce qu'il avait raison de se fâcher contre eux? Est-ce qu'il n'avait pas raison? Qu'est-ce qu'il fallait faire selon son concept pour que les clients arrivent dans sa société?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, one of the things you have to know is that every businessman wants returns. Every business. So yes, he has to be hungry that they are not getting people into the business. He has to be. Because when we start businesses, we employ people to help us build those businesses. We cannot go back and build the businesses by ourselves. But what we can do is to drive the business. And what he could do, which I do with my team, is actually sit down to ask why. When you sit down to ask why, usually I tell my team that would ask 5 whys. 5. So number 1 why could be, why are people not coming here to do business with us? And the answer could be, because they do not know about us. Then I'll ask the second why. Why don't they know about us? And then the answer could be, because we are not advertising enough. Then my third why could be, why are we not advertising enough? And then the answer could be, because we do not make enough money to advertise, to spend advertising. Then I'll ask, why are we not making enough money? Okay. Then the answer could be, because we don't know how to make enough money. And so when we get to this point, then I start thinking, do I have the right people? Because if we do not know how to make the money, then I could ask, why don't you know how? 2 possible answers. Number 1, we do not have the desire. Number 2, we do not have the skills. The desire is, irrespective of what I give you, in terms of training, salary, you're not going to do it because you're not motivated. The second could be that if I give you skills, if I give you the skills, then you could start bringing those customers for me. So you find that asking those 5 whys has helped me to move from just looking at the fact that people are not coming to getting to the point of thinking that I may not have the right people who have the right skills or the right motivation. So it could be, if it is not the right motivation, then I may be the reason. The business owner, might be the reason why people are not coming to do business, and not the people who are sitting there and receiving customers.
Voilà.
And if I understand that I am the problem, then I have to take steps. Number 1, either to help them to motivate themselves. Because, see, I always say that I cannot motivate you. I can only cause you to motivate yourself. So when I start understanding that the problem is me, then I start finding out what I can do to help you become motivated, to motivate yourself, so that you can now help the business to grow. Because when the business grows, you grow, and I grow. So the whole idea is spending time and understanding why, without necessarily just jumping into conclusions that these people are not doing their work, people, because the problem could actually be me. And the problem sometimes could be me because I don't understand the business, or I am not interested in making people who work for the business grow, because I'm only looking at myself.
Est-ce que chacun qui crée son entreprise ne devrait pas être lui-même le premier service commercial?
But of course, that's why the problem could be me. I don't understand the business. terrain very well, and if I don't understand it, then I cannot sell it. And if I cannot sell it, then the people who work for me cannot sell it. So the problem usually starts with the founders. Sometimes we have money and we want to invest the money. Then I think that I want to set up a TV house like this one. But I'm not a journalist. I don't know what it takes. I don't learn about it. I just have the money I put there. Then I say, somebody come and run this thing for me. But now the problem begins. Because if I'm not the #1 salesperson, all the other people who work for me cannot sell effectively. I should learn how to sell. First, sell to my staff. I must sell the business to my staff. This is what I do. So you see this thing I am doing, I do it to my staff as well. I sell the institution so that they are fired up to go out there and sell to, and even when they stay in, to give the customers the best. So it starts from the founder, but it usually doesn't end with the founder, because it's also no secret that many young people around do not have the desire to work. It is also not a secret. We know that. They usually do not have the desire, and some who have the desire do not have what it takes to get the work done. See, the second group is easy to manage because you can, through trainings and capacity building, you can help. But the first group, it takes more work from within to get the work done. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
I have a question too about somebody talk about me about a business. I'm not aware of that. I don't know anything of those business.
Yes.
I have money and I want to do that business.
Yes.
And now I give my money to do the business.
You
I don't know anything about the business.
Yes.
And I'm a manager of this business.
Oh la la. Okay.
You understand? And then how now can I do to grow up the business that I'm not, that the business that somebody else talk to me, and I don't know. I wanted us to do that business, and I don't know anything about it. Maybe it may be an agricultural business. I don't know anything.
Yes.
Should I start by doing a study before doing, I don't know, because you know many people today want to do business. They don't know the business that they are doing. They have money,
but they do not know how to go about it. Yes. Beautiful question still. But this is why we have experts. This is why we have consultants who can help conduct the market research for us before we begin. And this is why we have experts also who can work with us in a team. Right now, I don't manage my institution. I have someone else who is help managing the institution for me. I am just overseeing that. So you could do that as well. Get the right people to work with you. At the end of the day, business is about teamwork. There is no way you're going to do it by yourself. So the most difficult thing here is not for you to know how to run this business, but to be able to put the right together with you, you can run this business. This is why you have people who run huge financial institutions, but who are not bankers. Because they've been able to surround themselves with amazing bankers who bought the vision and then grow it. But what you should have is the vision. So someone talks to you about this business. You want to get involved into this business. You must understand where you want to carry this business to. You must understand that. Whether or not you understand how to manage it. You know that it is not something I want to start today and it dies tomorrow. You know that I want to run this business for as long as I live, and maybe leave it to my children and so on. This is important. So that when you eventually surround yourself with the right people, with the right drive, with the right skills, with the experience and the attitude that is needed, you can now together build this business, and you will start by selling your vision to them. Articulate your vision in such a way that they buy this vision and they can carry this vision forward, even when you're not there. The best businesses outgrow their owners. So even when the owners are not there to micromanage the business every day, these businesses still function because the vision is in line with everyone in the organization, the right people were selected to run this business, and of course, the vision, the goals, the mission, everything was clear. So you can do that. And if you do not know how to start articulating your vision, your mission, the goals, you have experts who can help you do that. You have consultants you can contract who will help you do that.
Ok.
Pour quelqu'un qui a une vision, qui réalise sa vision dans un espace où peut-être il ne savait pas qu'il y avait peut-être les musulmans là-bas, je dis n'importe quoi. Il crée sa petite entreprise là-bas. Après, c'est après qu'il constate que c'est un quartier des musulmans. Ici, il n'y a que des gens du Nord. Et puis, ce qu'il a réalisé, c'était vraiment ce qu'il a aimé depuis son enfance. Il constate que ça ne passe pas. Et puis, dans cet endroit-là, il constate que peut-être ces musulmans-là ne consomment que tel ou tel produit. Est-ce qu'il doit changer ce qu'il a toujours aimé pour adapter au milieu de vie là où ça se passe? Ou bien il va persister, attendre, croyant qu'un jour ça va changer?
This is also very tricky. One of the driving forces to every successful business is passion. So you need to be passionate about it, which you said already. You're passionate about this. But you're saying that this is not the market for it. You may not change your passion. You may not move away from this business that you enjoy so much. But you may either create a new market, or penetrate an existing market.
Okay.
So you will not necessarily stop this business and say it's not working. But instead of just selling in that quartier, you may start looking at another neighborhood that does not have just Muslims. And in the meantime, you can try to adapt your products, not change, but adapt the product to meet the expectations of Muslims. That is why usually businesses do not have just one product. They have what they call a product portfolio, many businesses. This is so that they can satisfy different market segments that they think are important. So if you think that this particular market segment is important for me, I like it, I'm passionate about it, you can adapt your product to be able to meet that need without necessarily foregoing your passion. But at the same time, because you want to grow your business, think of opening new markets. Okay, so not just staying in that particular market.
Super.
Thank you.
Ok. Mais une question sur pour toujours sur parce que la concurrence elle est souvent très rude. Se différencier. Tout à l'heure, vous étiez en train de parler de la qualité, du prix aussi en termes, surtout si c'est le même, pour faire une sorte de différenciation en termes avec les autres, les autres concurrents. Vous avez dit que la concurrence, elle est bonne. Et elle nous permet aussi de nous évaluer, d'être créatifs, de créer. Bon, maintenant, Calvino a posé la question sur et vous avez bien répondu en disant qu'il faut chercher un autre lieu pour pouvoir faire. Bon, maintenant, il y a des gens...
Non, même pas un lieu, un truc à côté.
Non, un lieu quand je dis chercher un autre, elle a dit qu'il faut chercher un autre lieu où il n'y a pas de musulmans pour pouvoir faire accroître ce business-là. Donc, c'est de ça. Bon, maintenant, pour celui qui fait, parce qu'il y a des gens qui essayent de se lancer dans les affaires, ils veulent faire, ils font, ça tombe. Ils restent tranquilles, ils se découragent même, ils perdent beaucoup d'argent. Bon, maintenant, celui-là, alors, qu'est-ce qu'on peut dire à cette personne-là qui ne fait qu'injecter de l'argent dans un business et le business ne grandit pas, ça n'évolue pas, ça tombe, il ferme, il rouvre encore dans le même business, ça tombe, ainsi de suite, ainsi de suite. Qu'est-ce que vous pouvez lui dire à cette personne-là?
Now, two things. Number one, because I am passionate about business, I'll say don't give up. This is the first. Because my first business also did not succeed. You know, I was very young and I started my first business and of course it failed as well. So if you really want to do business, then don't give up. This is the first. The second, now this is my example again. I learned why my first business failed. So please, before you invest again in this same business, take time off and ask yourself, why have I been failing? Don't move forward. For me, I took 7 months to find the answer. 7 months. I kept asking myself,
Wow.
I kept asking myself, why did I fail? And I took 7 months of doing other stuff, but every time thinking of what would I have done better. And I realized one thing. I failed because I did not master the market. Simple. But you know, initially I had blamed the staff, I had blamed the government, taxes, I had blamed every other person but me. But after 7 months, I got to understand that I did not master the market. And so I needed to take a few more months to understand the market very well. How are people in this market? What is it that they like? What is it that they will pay for? How much are they willing to pay? What are the kind of things that they want to see to make them to pay? I had to ask all these questions, took a lot of time to find all the answers, set up my next business, and this is close to 7 years gone, and we are doing very well. So please, before you invest again, stop and ask yourself, why have I been failing? There may be many reasons. It could even be you. Sometimes I see a lot of investors who really are passionate about business, but the investment method is wrong. So somebody gives you a business plan of, say, 5 million francs and says, we need 5 million francs to get this business started. And you say, okay, but I'm going to give you 3 million francs first. Start with 3 million francs first, and then I'll give you 2 million francs after I see the way you're doing the business. In most cases, you're already set for failure because the business requires 5 million francs to start. Now you think that by giving 3 million francs, you're economizing, you're trying to make sure that the people running the business are serious, but they start cutting corners. They start cutting corners, they start not doing what they are supposed to do. At the end of the day, you find that you cannot reap from that amount. So there are many reasons. There are many reasons. I cannot start to think of every single reason why your businesses might have failed. But you have to find those reasons, because all those reasons are just around you. And you have to be honest with yourself to be able to identify when the fault is yours.
Yeah.
This is the best place to start. Until I could realize that I did many wrong stuff, I could not move forward. But sometimes we refuse to think that we are the reason why we fail. And so we blame it on this, we blame it on that. We stop. Ask yourself, why have I been failing? If it is you, then you can get the solutions to your problem.
Je connais un monsieur, il est en location, il est avec sa femme et un enfant. Il a fait son petit business là, une petite boutique. Il y a un peu de tout. Mais il se plaint, il dit que ça n'avance pas en fait. Parce que quand il ne fait que ça, sa femme à la maison, sa femme s'occupe des enfants. Quand il travaille un peu, il faut qu'il s'occupe des enfants de la maison et tout. Donc son business stagne.
Yes.
La question c'est qu'un gars comme ça, qu'est-ce qu'il peut faire
pour relever les affaires,
pour relever
son affaire.
Parce que il se sent bloqué. Il voit que ça ne peut pas. Il s'occupe des enfants, de la femme, de la location, lui-même. Et puis il n'a que ça sur quoi il compte.
What's the kind of business, by the way?
A shop.
Oui, c'est une boutique.
Provision. Provision in French.
D'approvisionnement, a shop too.
Épicerie, les choses qu'on mange.
The small thing that we are eating in
Tomato, bread, butter.
That's true. What I know about that business is that the profit margins are very small.
Very small.
They are very small. And if I could advise him to move from that to something else, which has faster turnover and a little bit larger profit margin, it could help. This is one idea. The second is that in most of those small businesses, bookkeeping is very poor. So he cannot tell you at the end of the day how much he has made as profit.
Voilà.
And also because they are doing the kind of hand to mouth. So I make 100 francs profit, we consume that. And so he's not reinvesting in the business. He cannot grow the business. And so it becomes really difficult, because I've done that too. As a young person, I did that. And so the first thing, he could diversify into something that has a faster turnover, or he should sit down and get help, maybe somebody around who could help him with his bookkeeping, so that at the end of the day, he really sees how much he's making how much he can reinvest, and how much he can consume. This is difficult. If it's provision, I can tell you already that this option is quite difficult because they live off this business. The third thing to do here is to work with a financial institution. Many financial institutions have what they call daily savings. So you save small amounts every day, and they can give you a small credit to boost your business, and you continue paying through these daily contributions. Still, I have done that too, and it really helped to grow the business. So this is an idea. If he has not been doing that, then this is something that he could do. Get even small amounts of saving every day could help this financial institution to give him a small credit that can help him boost his business. But even if he does boost the business, bookkeeping is important. Very important, so that he can understand his profit margins and how to reinvest. But again, provision, I should tell you that it's tough. It's really difficult.
Thank you very much, Fotabe Elmine.
Wow.
Are we going to come next week?
Yes, I'm here next week to talk about something else.
Okay, we are going to talk about another subject next week.
Yes.
And where can we find you if the people want to see you?
Personally, I'm on all social media platforms as Fotabe Elmine.
Right.
And Fotabe Elmine.
Yeah.
And then my institution is FUNIC Cameroon. So you can find us here. So on all social media platforms, you can get me with my name, Fotabe Elmine.
Et c'est même écrit déjà au bas de l'écran.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you for coming, and then we're going to see you on the next rendezvous is Wednesday next week. Next week we're going to talk about another subject. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Calvino.
And I like it.
Okay.
J'ai aimé.
And thank you all of you televiewers for watching us, and then we keep watching STV. Tomorrow is another day. Take care of you. Ciao.
Thank you.
Go, 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 go. Go. Go, 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 go.